So obviously this is going to be such a serious video. That's why there's not really any music. That's why there's no gameplay and not much really editing to this video. But what I'm going to be talking about is, obviously from the title as you saw, is I got swatted by a YouTuber named Sydiced. So if you don't know who Sydiced is, I recommend watching this video by gwamgo. It basically outlines everything that this dude has done to many other YouTubers and many other people like me, or just many other people just in general. And it's such a screwed up situation, but I'm going to dive into it, at least on my behalf. I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm just going to say my side and like what has happened. So after the Roblox homophobic video went up on my channel, I received obviously backlash from a lot of those people. But what sparked it was this person named Sydiced who had made a comment on that video saying, "LOL, no one knows you, little bro." And from then, he got really mad because the comment got deleted, basically reported and then got deleted. And he made a big stink about it on Twitter and saying how it infringes on his human rights and his like freedom of speech and whatever, and made drama out of it, you know, Twitter. And it went out of hand from then, because then everybody started doing stuff upon like doxing and you know, spreading around false information about me. And the biggest one was a fake dox bin made upon me about my fake address and places I've lived and phone numbers that aren't mine, and then just using my full name, which I've already told everyone because I don't really care. So that was getting spread around, and it turned out that Sydiced was the one that made this one. And it's on the specific account right here that I'm going to display, that is put on a website called Doxbin, which is basically a legal gray area website where you could post public information about people. I say legal gray area because it's not technically illegal to dox somebody, but if you're going to use it to harass somebody, that's where it becomes illegal, which in fact he's been doing. So he posted on here, as well as like a couple other people that he doxed on there, which Maple Shake is somebody that I am acquainted with. And this person did say that they were in fact doxed by a user called 213E, which happened to be a person who joined my server in a raid after that video went up. And I believe he was the second person that joined right after Sydiced. And I literally mean minutes after Sydiced joined. Sydiced has been, you know, Sydiced has many alt accounts on Discord. You know, he has a Sydiced, he has a Sydiced alt, he has 213E, that he has Rorock, many others. Endless alt accounts, it doesn't really matter. But 213E is the biggest one that I saw. And since they joined, and then they also doxed Maple Shake. Maple Shake only had one dox on Doxbin, and it's posted under the same account that doxed me, and people were saying Sydiced was the one that made it because Sydiced was the one that just snagged it. So there you go. All right, anyways, moving on from that because we're kind of getting sidetracked. I'm just trying to tell you how this kind of went on for a while. And so after the fake dox went on, it was pretty laughable, I'm not gonna lie. It was just completely bullshit information about me and bullshit information about, you know, where I lived and places I've lived before and phone numbers and anything they could grab for free, like my name and my social medias, which is all in like the description of my YouTube. So it was pretty comical, but then you know, since Sydiced really isn't a big, like, he doesn't really know how to dox truly. So he had to use a group called the Zoned, which are very known for doing cybersecurity type things and doxing, all that. But he basically gave Zoned a very bad rep because he gaslit and manipulated Zoned into making them think that, you know, I'm such a bad person and all these other people are bad people that they've doxed. And, you know, since they're young people, you know, it's not really hard to manipulate someone on the internet to be like, hey, this person is a horrible human being. I want them, you know, copyright striked. I want them doxed. I want them this, you know, that's essentially what they, or I should say, that's essentially what Sydiced did. Was he made them dox me, and they successfully did it. And from then I got received, or I should say, I received a lot of harassment from them and sydiced, but mainly sydiced. But the problem was sydiced loved to shift the blame on Zone because sydiced does not like taking any accountability and blame for anything. That's why he does everything on alt accounts rather than his main accounts to make himself look perfect. So he really threw Zoned under the bus for the past couple of months by making them take the blame for everything, for doxing me, for swatting me, and so on and so forth. So we're going to dive into the harassment part where they would take photos of my house and post it on Twitter. They would make accounts with my face and fake accounts and post pictures of the supposed house and all this kind of stuff for a while. And it's just childish and it was stupid. But it really got serious when there was a point where I was recording an gwamgo video for YouTube that I never got to post. During the recording, in fact, sydiced was on an alt account watching and listening and secretly recording me the entire hour or so that we were recording everything on gwamgo. And I was in a big group chat or a big VC call in gwamgo server with gwamgo himself being there and a couple of the server members. The problem was sydiced obviously is not welcome in that server, and he made an alt account to get in there and basically gather up any information he can, which is pretty much cyber stalking at that point, which is really not okay. But the other part that I'm looking at is him recording me and recording everyone in that call without anybody knowing about it. Because if you didn't know, it's a felony to record somebody without their consent, obviously, right? But verbally. So if you're on a phone call with somebody and you're recording them, but you don't tell them that you are recording their voice and their audio, it's illegal, pretty much. You can't record somebody's audio. You can't record anything about a person like that, especially on the internet, without letting them know. It's different with sites like Omegle, because on Omegle, there are checkboxes when you, in the very beginning of the site. So when you want to go onto the site, it lets you know that people are probably recording and all this kind of stuff. So you're already checking those boxes that you acknowledge that people will be recording. So I'm just clearing that up if somebody is going to be like, well, Nift, you were recording people on Omegle and you weren't telling them. But Omegle has laws to protect that. So we're good. Well, not really laws, I should say, but they have their own guidelines to protect people like me or other YouTubers to make their content, or whatever people do on Omegle. I really don't know. It's a mess. So upon that, he took a lot of stuff that I said out of context. And obviously anybody who knows me, I'm very satire. A lot of my humor is very dry and satire, and I never mean anything I say. So if you go past through my old Omegle videos, obviously a lot of stuff I say is very stupid, right? And it's for entertainment purposes only. It's not I mean anything or whatever. So they tried to frame me as like being a racist for saying stuff along the lines of, if somebody was an African American, I called them Zone Taps because Zone Taps is African American. Don't know how that's really labeled as me being racist, because sydiced was framing Zone Taps to be in this call, but it was actually sydiced the whole time. So I was getting a massive amount of friend requests during the whole session on my phone through notifications from Taps and like alt accounts of Taps, basically indicating I'm thinking like, oh, Taps knows that we're doing something or sees that we're in a voice call. So throughout that night, I ended up getting the very first false police report / swatting. I think around like 10 p.m. of the night, cops were banging on my door. I go answer it, and it was a wellness check. They were just saying that somebody online reported me and said that I was threatening to off myself or something like that. And obviously it's not true. I'm still here. I'm recording this. But because I probably said on Omegle, like, OMG, something's not loading, I'm gonna KMS or whatever, right? I'm just, as everyone does. They thought that was justification to call the police on me, because they still use that as a leverage to say that, oh, you said it and we got concerned. But obviously in retrospect, they just did it because they want a reaction or whatever, even though they still illegally recorded the video. So technically, so in evidence, it would get thrown out the window because you're illegally recording me and what I'm doing in a server that you're not supposed to be in. So it really contradicts itself. Anyways, the second time I got swatted, it was a couple days later, and I was going to work, and pretty much the cop stopped me on my way out the door, and he just said, "It's the same thing. Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he's like, "Okay, thank you, bye." Because after the first swatting, I talked to the police for a lengthy time, I should say, and I explained what has been going on between like the doxing, and the harassment I've been receiving online, and they basically made a note to put in with the detective as for a meeting, that I was going to meet with our local detective about this. But they said that they're going to be putting a red flag, what they call, over my house. They still have to come if there's ever reports, but now they know it's not going to be really serious. So obviously the second time they came, they immediately said, "Hey, you know, it's the same thing. Are you good?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Okay, bye." And that was it, because they know it comes up as a red flag for my house. And yeah, so obviously I've been fine since. Like, nothing bad's really going to happen. For the third time I technically got swatted, this one surfaced because I wasn't home when this happened. And I'm going to put up the screenshots here. Sydiced has this accomplice, quote unquote, this dude that he talks to, or friend or whatever he is, named Yblock, and he's been off and on. But the thing is about Yblock is I don't really think he's a trustworthy source, especially for Sydiced. And if you're watching the Sydiced, you're definitely being played on both sides. And I say this cold-heartedly. I'm gonna say it like this. Supposedly this guy named Dern hacked, I should say, Yblock's Discord account and started leaking all these conversations between Sydiced and Yblock. And I've noticed something between Dern's phone and also Yblock's phone is they got the same exact phone and the same exact screenshots. So I thought that was very interesting, because the way Yblock was saying how he got hacked is pretty much not, possible to get hacked like how he said. I forgot the exact terminology because he said it on a live stream, and I don't have access to it anymore. But it's just not possible how he would have gotten hacked like that. I have reason to believe that Yblock actually, in fact, has been playing both sides between Sydiced and us. So he basically leaked saying that Sydiced was saying that he could call the police on me, and he's going to do it right now, because he basically says, "Fuck it, I'm going to do it now." And it lines up with all the police reports that I'm going to put on screen, because all three of them are the exact police reports I was just telling you, and the top one being the most recent, I should say. It lines up with the exact date and time, and so that means that the police came to my house, but I wasn't here because I was at work. So the funny thing is, they try to justify it twice. The first time they kept saying that it was just a wellness check, and nothing, it was justified because I said I was going to off myself. But the problem is, they already had used that the first time. They can't use it the third time because I wasn't even home and I was at work. So like, why are you going to just lie like that? After they got caught in that lie, then they changed it. They said I was making a bomb threat, and that it was a serious bomb threat, even though it was just the most out of context and most satire thing I've probably ever said before, because I've told people in a Discord server to, quote unquote, use star code NIFT. Obviously, I don't have a star code, to which somebody replied, no. And I jokingly said, "Okay, scratch that," or, sorry, "Okay, let me rephrase that. Use star code NIFT or I'll blow up your house." Obviously, horrible choice of words, but in the sense of everybody knows how I act there, and everybody knows that we all joke, it's a clear joke. And that was his ticket to use against me. So he said I made a threat online. But no, again, police didn't take it serious. But what he did was even worse, was he took it online to FBItips.com or whatever.org, and he submitted an FBI tip against me of me making terroristic threats on Discord, which prompted, obviously, the FBI to show up to my house. And upon then, obviously, they didn't even take it seriously, because the agent I was talking to was going over the screenshots and was already pointing out how some of them don't make sense and some of them look highly photoshopped, and we went from there. So at the time, before gwamgo had made a new server, and made like refreshed his whole server, I still had all the logs on the server. So everything that he was pulling up with these bomb threats and out of context stuff or Photoshop things that he would make me say, I showed them in real time of everything that I said. So he got to see what sydiced photoshopped and falsely accused me of, while I was proving myself innocent right in front of him. So sydiced basically committed another crime by, you know, submitting false information and making another false police report to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which is so fucking stupid. Pardon my language, but it just keeps going on from there. So we had a very like long conversation. It was like a 2-hour meeting, and going over everything that this kid has done, and you know, all the swatting and stuff, because obviously swatting is a federal crime, and his dumbass basically admitted to it, but he keeps saying it's justified when it's literally not, and they said it themselves that it can't be justified with the information that he has, especially when he illegally recorded it and has been changing everything. So that's the main thing that we've been tackling and trying to get on him, was this. From there, it's just been nothing but false accusations and defamation, whatever he can do to try and ruin my credibility, but it doesn't work in his favor. You know, whether he wants to call me a pedophile online and try and defame me as much as he can, of, you know, saying I'm so schizophrenic, or I'm out of my mind, I'm a liar, and I'm defaming him, and whatever he can call me. I mean, he's not only done this to me, he's done this to gwamgo, he's done this to countless other YouTubers, and that's why no one can take him serious. But the problem is, like, when you're calling an adult a pedophile with no evidence whatsoever, some kids will, of course, you know, take it super seriously and will go ahead and just run with that. So still, almost every day, I'm still somehow receiving small backlash from people that still think this is real when it's completely not. There is no evidence of this, even though when they say they have evidence and they've not shown anything, there is no evidence of anything of like that. And it's so frustrating and annoying that I have to fucking deal with this every single day of my life. I've lost so much sleep within the past couple months. That's why there's no uploads. I've done nothing. I've streamed here and there on the weekends, but like, this has been like absolutely destroying my mental health. And it really sucks because from what I've been told, minors, for some reason online, no matter how much of a criminal they can be and felonies they can commit, and, you know, federal crimes they can commit, they can get away scot-free with this bullshit unless they directly like kill somebody. So the problem is that I don't want to talk too much on the case, because the case actually still is actively going on, and I don't want to ruin a lot what's going on. So I'll just give you the public information and what I can and can't give you. So what I can say is that, you know, there still will be an arrest, but the problem is, it's like, we don't know when, because I get asked this daily, when is he going to get arrested? Like, dude, I don't know. I'm not the police. But the police do know. His local police department knows. My local police department knows. Police departments in other states know, because there's more than one victim. I'm not the only victim that he's done this to. A lot of people know. The Federal Bureau of Investigation know. It's just, the problem is, what they're trying to do is they're trying to build a case in the sense that a judge is actually going to rule out like a warrant for his arrest, because it's so hard to arrest or convict a minor nowadays, because they typically rather focus on rehabilitation than just like put him in a prison. So most likely he will get arrested from this, because again, it is a federal crime what he did with the swatting. You know, it's just, there's been a lot that's been going on, and it's so stupid. And this is why, like, a lot of people I see hate Roblox in general, or Twitter, is Roblox seems to have the biggest community full of like just people doxing each other over the smallest things, and I've seen it hands on, and it's so stupid. I don't know what else to really make of this, and that's why I said this is such a serious video. I'm sorry for dragging this out for like 20 something minutes now, but It's just everything has been needed to be said like this, especially since his account now has been terminated off YouTube, which is a good, really, really good thing. That's his number one, like thing that he always talks about is his numbers and his like analytics all the time. So, fuck you and fuck your YouTube channel. It doesn't even matter about numbers anyways, because everything that he's ever posted has been clickbait and has been fake information and fake everything and whatever can drive his views up. He doesn't care about bad publicity. He doesn't care about, you know, what people think about him, because in his screwed up head, he just thinks all publicity is good publicity. In some sense, no, because it still is ruining your credibility of being online, because people know your full name. People know where you live. Your school knows about you. Students in the school know about you. So you're kind of just ruining it for yourself. And especially if you get arrested, that's going to be semi on your record of what you've done. So whatever. So like I said, I'm sorry for dragging this out for 20 minutes. That's basically what I've wanted to say on my behalf. I've been holding this on for a while, but since I technically am not going to get copyright striked from this, but if I do, if somehow he comes back to YouTube and tries to strike me over this, good luck, because I know you don't have any lawyers, and I know you're just falsely striking me, because what else? For just saying your name? Whatever. But yeah. Anyways, if you guys still want to support me, you guys can subscribe and like this video, share this around, let people know about this situation. And if you too are a victim of this piece of shit, please feel free to DM me on Twitter. It's nift_TV, and we can talk where to go from there, because the more cases and the more victims on this, the more people take it serious, or I should say the police will take it serious and they can add on to the case. But yeah, I stream every Saturday at 3 p.m. over on Kick. So that's kick.com/nift. If you guys want to join my Discord server, that's discord.gg/nift. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and stay nifty.